When I was a boy, I thought life was easy. My dad had a lot of money, so I never worried. I didn't study much, and I didn't work. I had everything I wanted. If I saw something I liked, I asked my dad, and he bought it for me. My friends Tom and Sam told me to think about the future, but I just laughed. Why work? Why worry? I thought, my dad has money. That's enough. Every morning I woke up late. I ate breakfast in bed and watched TV for hours. Sometimes I went out with Tom and Sam. We ate at the best places like the Big Plate restaurant. We wore fancy clothes and drove fast cars down Cedar Road. Life felt easy and fun. I really thought it would always stay that way. I never thought about money or work. If I wanted to travel, I just went. If I wanted new shoes, I bought them. If I wanted a new phone, I got the best one. My dad, who owned a shop, paid for everything. I never thought about how hard he worked. I didn't ask him about his business. I just enjoyed my life. I only thought about today, not tomorrow. One day, my dad called me. He looked serious. He told me to sit down. He said, "Son, we need to talk." I smiled and said, "Yes, Dad?" But his face stayed serious. He wasn't happy. He wasn't joking. I felt a little worried, but I didn't know why. My dad was always so kind. He never said no to me before, but that day something felt different. Mr. Green took a deep breath and looked at me. "You're not a kid anymore," he said. "You have to start thinking about your future." I laughed. "Dad, I have everything I need." He shook his head. "No, my son, you have everything because I work hard. But life isn't always easy. One day, things might change." I didn't understand. I thought he was just worrying too much. I smiled and said, "Don't worry, Dad. Nothing will change." But he didn't smile back. He looked at me for a long time. Then he said, "We'll see." I thought he was just in a bad mood. I stood up and left the room. I didn't think about his words. I went out with my friends, Tom and Sam. We laughed. I spent money. I didn't know that my easy life was about to change. The next morning, I woke up late, like always. I stretched and grabbed my phone. There were lots of messages from Tom and Sam. They wanted to go out. I smiled and got ready. I wore my best clothes, sprayed my favorite perfume, and walked downstairs. But when I got to the living room, I saw Mr. Green again. He was waiting for me. His face was serious. "Sit down," he said. I sighed and sat. "Dad, I have plans," I said. He didn't care about my plans. He looked right at me. "You're not a boy anymore," he said. "You need to learn about life." I rolled my eyes. "Dad, I know about life," I said. He shook his head. "No, you don't," he said. Then he added something strange. "Come with me." I followed him. Outside, Mr. Green walked to his car. I didn't know where we were going. He didn't say a word. I sat beside him, feeling confused. He started driving. The city looked different that morning. I saw people walking fast. I saw walkers cleaning the streets. I saw men selling food on the roadside, like a man with a cart full of bread. I'd never really noticed these things before. After some time, my dad stopped the car. We were in a part of the city I'd never visited. The buildings were old. The streets were dirty. The people looked tired. My dad pointed to a man selling fruit. "Look at him," he said. "He wakes up very early. He works all day. He doesn't rest. He doesn't complain. He works to feed his family." I didn't say anything. Then he showed me a small shop. Inside, an old woman was sewing clothes. "She's a tailor," he said. "She's been working for 40 years. She doesn't have much, but she works hard every day." I looked at her. She seemed tired, but she didn't stop. She just kept working. I had never seen people like this before. I had never even thought about them. My dad turned to me. "Do you see now?" he asked. "Life is not easy for everyone. Many people work hard every day. But you, my son, have never worked a single day." I felt strange. I wanted to say something, but no words came. I looked away. For the first time in my life, I felt small. I felt something changed inside me. We got back into the car. My dad stayed quiet. He just drove. I sat in silence, thinking. I couldn't stop seeing the fruit seller and the tailor in my mind. I had never thought about work like that before. My life had always been easy, but now something felt different, and I didn't know why. After some time, my dad stopped the car again. This time, we stopped in front of a large building. It was my dad's office. I'd been there before, but never for long. I only came when I needed money. My dad got out. "Come," he said. I followed him inside. The office was busy. People were walking quickly. Phones were ringing. Papers were everywhere. My dad led me to his own office. He sat down and looked at me. "Do you know what I do every day?" he asked. I shrugged. "You work," I said. He nodded. "Yes, but do you know how hard I work?" I stayed quiet. He continued. "I wake up early. I make big decisions. I solve problems. I take care of this whole company, and I do all of this for you." I looked around. I saw tired workers, some writing reports, some making phone calls, some looking very stressed. I'd never noticed any of this before. I only saw the money my dad gave me. I never thought about how he earned it. Now, I felt something heavy in my chest. It was guilt. Then my dad handed me a small notebook. "From tomorrow, you will work here," he said. I laughed. "Me? Work?" He didn't laugh. "Yes, you will start from the bottom. You will learn." I was shocked. "But I don't need to work." My dad shook his head. "You do, because one day I won't be here. And then what will you do?" I didn't know what to say. I had never thought about life without my dad. I'd never thought about the future at all. I only thought about my comfort. But now I'd no choice. My dad had decided. Tomorrow my life would change. The next morning I woke up early. It felt strange. I was used to sleeping in, but now I had to work. I got dressed and went downstairs. My dad was waiting. He handed me a small bag. "Your lunch," he said. I looked at him in surprise. "Lunch? Can I eat at a restaurant?" I asked. Mr. Green shook his head. "Workers bring their own lunch," he said, "and today you are a worker." We left the house and drove to his office. But this time he didn't take me to his big office. Instead, he took me to a small room with many desks. People were typing and working on computers. A man in glasses came over. He looked serious. "This is Mr. Ben," my dad said. "You will work under him." Then he walked away. Mr. Ben looked at me. "Come with me," he said. He walked fast and I followed. He gave me a chair and a small desk. "You will check these papers," he said. He put a big stack in front of me. "Look at the numbers. Find mistakes. Mark them." I stared at the papers. "All of them?" I asked. Mr. Ben nodded. "Yes, and work fast." I sat down and started. At first, it seemed okay. But after an hour, my head hurt. The numbers all looked the same. My eyes were tired. I wanted to stop, but I couldn't. Everyone else kept working. No resting, no chatting. This was nothing like my old life. At lunchtime, I was exhausted. I opened my lunch bag. The food was simple. No fancy meals, no drinks. I ate quietly and watched the others. They ate fast and went back to work. No long breaks, no fun, just work. I missed my old life. I missed my freedom. But I also felt something I hadn't before: respect. These people worked hard every day. Now I was one of them. The afternoon was even harder. My back ached. My hands were tired. I wanted to quit, but I couldn't. Mr. Ben came to check my work. He found mistakes. "Do it again," he said. I sighed. I wanted to argue, but I didn't. I just nodded and started again. When the day finally ended, I felt different. I was tired, but something inside me had changed. For the first time, I understood how hard people worked. For the first time, I understood that money didn't come easily. As I walked out of the office, I saw my father, Mr. Green, waiting for me. He didn't ask how my day was. He just smiled. And for the first time in my life, I smiled back. Not because life was easy, but because I'd earned that smile. The next day, I woke up early again. My body was sore. My hands were stiff. I'd never felt this way before. I wanted to stay in bed, but I couldn't. I had work to do. I got dressed and went downstairs. My father was already at the table. He looked at me and nodded. "Good," he said. Just one word, but it felt different. It felt like he was proud. At the office, Mr. Ben was waiting. He didn't smile. "You were slow yesterday," he said. "Today, work faster." I wanted to say something, but I didn't. I sat down and started. The papers were in front of me again. The numbers waited. My head still hurt. My back still ached. But I worked. I didn't stop. By noon, I finished my task. Mr. Ben checked my work. He found fewer mistakes. "Better," he said. Just one word, but it meant a lot. It felt better than buying expensive things. It felt better than wasting time with friends. It felt real. I had done something real. During lunch, I sat with the other workers. They talked about their families. They shared problems. They laughed. They ate quickly, then went back to work. I listened to them. I'd never thought about people like them before. I never thought about what they went through. But now I was sitting with them. I was one of them. Days passed, then weeks, then months. I worked every day. At first it was hard. My body hurt. My mind felt tired. But slowly I got better. I made fewer mistakes. I worked faster. Mr. Ben still didn't smile much, but he stopped complaining. Sometimes he even said, "Good job." Those words felt better than any gift I'd ever received. I started to understand money. Before, I only spent it. Now, I saw how hard it was to earn. I watched my father work. I saw him make big decisions. I saw him fix problems. I saw him take care of people and the company. Before, I didn't respect his work, but now I did. He wasn't just a man with money. He was a man who built something with his own hands. One evening, my father, Mr. Green, called me to his office. He looked at me for a long time. Then he said, "You've changed." I didn't know what to say. He continued, "At first, you were lazy. You didn't care about work. But now you understand." I nodded. He was right. I wasn't the same person anymore. I felt different. I felt stronger. Then my father surprised me. He took out a small key and handed it to me. "This is your office," he said. I was shocked. "My office?" I asked. He nodded. "You are ready for more responsibility. You've worked hard. Now it's time to take the next step." I held the key in my hand. It was small, but it felt heavy. It wasn't just a key, it was trust. The next day, I moved into my new office. It was small, but it was mine. I had my own desk, my own chair, and my own work. I was no longer just a worker. I was learning how to lead. It wasn't easy. I made mistakes. I had bad days, but I didn't give up. I kept working. I kept learning. I wanted to be like my father. I wanted to build something of my own. Looking back, I laugh at who I used to be. I thought life was easy. I thought money came without effort. But I was wrong. Life means work. Life means effort. Life means building something with your own hands. My father taught me that, and now I am ready for the future, not because I have money, but because I've learned how to earn it.